So, hello everybody, welcome to the TT Institute, and welcome to R&D Week. This is Sunday, we are doing the final review, and
With
what
me!
is it?
It is Utopia, Sound of Drums, and the last of the Timelords.
You got it right, well done. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, welcome to Sunday of the R&D Week, and today we are doing your favourite episode.
Hello, it's me.
What episodes are we doing? We're doing a three-parter.
I'll get this right this time.
Yeah, hopefully you will.
Utopia, Sound of Drums, and the last of the Timelords.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
That's it. So, yeah, that is your favourite episode, isn't it?
Never knew the name of it, though.
Yeah, that's surprising. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the three episodes separately. Obviously, Utopia, then Sound of Drums, and Last Times. Then we're going to talk about the story collectively, and then we're going to talk about our personal opinions on it afterwards, and then we'll do our conclusion. That's how it's going to be paced out, because it's going to be a long review. Okay, so, let's start with Utopia. Let's start, obviously, as usual, let's start with characters. What do you think of the Doctor in this one? In Utopia?
I felt he had a bit of an ego in this one.
Yeah, a little bit of an ego.
At the very beginning, it's like, Doctor, oh, what's your doctor of? Everything.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah, and expanding on that, obviously they talk about how he always like, I loved Rose and all that, and obviously Jack and Martha have their banter sesh and they're bitching about the Doctor, literally behind his back, and he's like, hey, would you stop nattering about Rose and all that? He's like, I'm right here, you know. Yeah. So yeah, what do you think of David Tennant in this episode in Utopia?
He had quite a few funny. He had, like always, he has emotions.
Mm-hmm.
He has funny scenes like with his hand, like hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Again.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when he realised the Master was there,
the fear on his face, the surprise.
Can you see why I love
exactly.
David?
Yeah,
he's just
such a. Yeah, it's just how they have to make him. I don't know. There's something they have to do all the kissing, and that isn't really what the Doctor's meant to be getting into. Really, that's the only thing I don't really like about his Doctor. There's too much of that.
Well, he didn't do any of that. Only in a flashback.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though. It just feels too sexualized, which is why I fear for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. But anyway.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
So yeah. So going on so quickly. So David Tennant. I nearly said Peter Davidson. So I feel like this episode seemed like a run of the mill kind of thing. We didn't expect it to lead into another two episodes. For the finale, but we just thought it'd just be this run of the mill episode. Oh wow, it's the end of the universe, big deal. It's not even the finale of the series. It won't mean anything this episode. Well, no, it does. It reveals that the Master's still alive, which people knew was coming up in the new series. But it's still cool to see that actually come out, because nobody expected it would be that kind, bumbly old scientist in the laboratory. You know, nobody expected it would be him.
No,
it's really, really good.
The butler did it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, but honestly, I have to quickly say this. Derek Jacobi. Yes, Derek Jacobi.
Is that his name? Or you mean Yama?
Yama?
Yana.
Yeah.
I visualised it correct. Okay, so it wrong.
Okay, so you know this.
Yeah.
I recently purchased the War Master box set, and I've only listened to episode 1, and I love it already. I love his Master so much, and I'm going to make sure that Kane listens to this box set after I've finished it.
Yay.
And what's coming up on the channel is the review of that box set. Me and Kane are going to review it, and it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be. But anyway, back to Derek Jacobi. So I feel like he was amazing acting in this episode, because he really does seem like the really kind, like gentle but old and worn out old man who's trying to help out the rest of civilization by taking them to Utopia, which is a pipe dream. But yeah, it's brilliant, because and then suddenly he just clicks, and then
how it just immediately transforms into the Master,
and then he just kills his lab assistant just like that. It's mad.
I mean, at first being like, oh hello, oh can you help me?
Exactly. Oh yes, so you're a scientist.
I want to save people.
Yeah.
Then it's just the Master's like, oi, yeah, die.
I am the Master. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's mad, and his performance is brilliant, because he amazing at being that really kind, like unsuspecting scientist, and then turning into that evil mastermind. It's absolutely brilliant, and honestly, in this episode, you heard when he was looking at the watch, you heard a little bit of a audio from the daemons when the master goes, no, destroy him, no, you will give your power to me, which is a direct reference from the daemons when the Doctor and the Master are trying to combat each other to try and get the power of, you know, the daemons in that episode. Obviously, it's really cool how they did slot that in as a little reference in there, because back in that time in the New Who, they really didn't put in many references to the classic series, did they? Not like in the Moffat era, but yeah. It was really, really good how the little references in there. And obviously that whole thing of like, what actually is Yana's deal? Because he keeps getting these little flashes in his head, and it's just...
It was also amazing how Yana he was, where although he was this happy, chappy old guy, he would actually freeze for moments. Like, what's happening? He's confused.
Yeah, just keep going back to... like the audience going, what is his deal? Like, seriously, what is he thinking? And then obviously the reveal of the pocket watch, which is madness. And that reveal,
the way it scared
Martha is like,
wow.
Crap, I've seen this before with the family blood episode when the Doctor turns human for being called John Smith.
I'm just confused why she was so scared of it.
Because she doesn't really know the Time Lords, and she knows that, okay, that's a Time Lord, that's a Time Lord in hiding. And obviously, that scared her, I guess, because she's like, oh shit, I know what this is. So, I don't know, maybe it just took her off guard. Maybe she wasn't scared more than she was just
scared.
surprised.
That was true fear, not surprise. Because she was there, frozen.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think Yana was brilliant, actually. I really, really love his character, and I absolutely hate that the new series didn't expand on him, and that's why I love Big Finish, because they expand on the things that New Who miss out on, like John Hurt's Doctor and Derek Jacobi's Master, things like that. It's
plot twist, they're the other person.
Oh god, no.
Turns out the Doctor ran off.
But anyway,
I forgot you're keeping it PG now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I went,
Yeah. Anyway, so right, so Derek Jacobi, absolutely amazing in this. I really, he only got a tiny glimpse into how good of a master he could be, and that's why I love Big Finish. But yeah, so let's go on to Martha. So what do you think of her? What do you think of Freema's performance in this?
It was the fact that although it was the end, we didn't know this. Sorry, although we didn't know this at the time, it was the end of her on the show. Well,
she was good.
Majority of the time.
Yeah, obviously, the actress would have announced it to the public, though, wouldn't they? Because of public.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But anyway,
true. She still, to the very end, she was still surprised at so much. The Doctor's like, what? Wait, did you just grow a hand back? Actually, I did.
Yeah, exactly. Still learning stuff. Yeah.
Well, okay.
I mean, you don't really have. Obviously, looking at Clara, like you don't really see her learning anything from the Doctor. She just knows everything, which is something that I really don't like about Clara, isn't she? She just knows everything already. Like, she's the impossible girl, and she tries to teach the Doctor how normal human etiquettes. It's just stupid. That's why I don't like Clara. She isn't the traditional companion who just is amazed at the universe. I mean, what's the point of having a companion if the Doctor can't show them the universe for its adventure? That's what I didn't like about Clara. But anyway, I still think again. I am. I just don't like Clara.
Quickly before you get onto the hybrid.
Oh god, yeah. Quickly. Let's get back to Martha quickly. So yeah, Martha. I think she's a really good companion, really underrated, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I feel like up until literally the last couple episodes in this series, even this one, after this one, she still feels like she's in the Doctor's shadow, still, which is such a shame. Like, the character always seems that way. Maybe that was Rusty Davis's intention to make her seem like that, and then she really comes out of her shell and becomes the hero in the finale.
Yeah, that's how a character arc should be.
Exactly, that's development for you, not bloody Clara.
I was about to say, Stephen Moffat's like, oh, yeah, you Came out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Impossible Girl. Oh, no, now... Oh,
Impossible.
No. Oh, now she has a boyfriend, and then she died.
Which
and then
came out of nowhere.
Exactly. Actually, let's look at the development for Peter Capaldi. Oh, yeah, he's a dark doctor. Oh, no, he's a bumbly doctor. Oh, no, he's a silly doctor. Now he's a mad doctor. Oh, now he's a dark doctor again. Now he's a professor doctor. Now he's... Just make up your mind with the 12 doctors. It's madness. But...
Now he's female.
Oh god, no, but that was Chris Chibnall though. Maybe it goes in the right direction now though, but who knows?
Stephen?
Well, at least
Sod off.
Yeah, exactly. At least Stephen Moffat's gone. But anyway, so yeah, so obviously Martha's I feel like if it was intentional to have that development in there for Martha's character, it's genius. Like having literally that's the completion of her character. She becomes her own. She becomes independent. She doesn't need the Doctor's guidance. She saves the Doctor. Obviously, she goes around the world. She's the one who goes around the world to spread the news, not the Doctor.
With only a few words.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was the countdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing else. The rest of the plan was hers.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was brilliant. The Doctor's planted the idea in his head. In her head. She did it, not him.
He did that quite a lot in this one, and I'll explain why. Mainly.
Yeah. When we get to the general review part.
No, not even that. Still the character area.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, cool. So, yeah, I really like Martha, like in general, because she's such an underrated character. She really, honestly, that is how character development should be done. To be honest,
yeah,
it is brilliant. So now moving on to Captain Jack, because he
is.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. Okay, so obviously he shows up and he jumps on the TARDIS, literally on the TARDIS, and obviously it turns out that the Doctor knew all the time that he was immortal, and this episode takes place between season 1 and season 2 of Torchwood.
Really?
Yeah, between
that
season
early?
1 and 2. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I mean that's when it was, because in the finale of series 1 it was implied that Jack disappeared and then he reappeared later on at the start of series 2, because series 2 kicks off with the Torchwood team without Jack, and then Jack jumps in at the last minute, you know, which is good. I guess that's good how they don't literally ram it down the Torchwood. You know, people who are watching Torchwood doesn't ram it down their throat saying, "Hey, he was in Doc 2. Go watch that episode." Like people who just watch Torchwood for Torchwood, like they don't have to watch Doc 2 for it. You know, they just they shove it in there. Why not? And obviously, obviously Jack shows up with John Hart, but that's a different story. But Jack was really good in Utopia. He was good. He had a purpose. He was the immortal guy who he was actually had a need to be there, because obviously Stephen Moffat, he just shove him in there just to fill dialogue, But you know, obviously he had a purpose in this. It was brilliant because he was that immortal guy who did that thing in the you know what I mean, in that chamber with radiation or whatever, you know.
Yeah, but
the critical.
Now the point I was going to make, which was where the Doctor guided very slightly, like he did with Martha, talking about how the face of Bo said, "You are not alone."
Yes.
He put that in Jack's head.
He did, yeah.
As soon as
it goes full circle, yeah. It's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Exactly. Those are the words I was thinking when I was watching it.
Mm-hmm. It was, that's actually genius, and this episode really does go full circle in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Really good. Honestly, Series 3 is more interconnected than you think, because of, obviously, it was Season 3, Episode 3, Gridlock, when Face of Bo died and said, "You're not alone." And then, obviously, it was in Season 3 when we saw the Family of Blood, and when the Doctor turned human with his fob watch. Yeah, obviously, there's so many connections that you can draw from this series alone that really do lead up to this. Not just the story arc of Vote Saxon or whatever. it really is a lot more than that. There's so many little Easter eggs in the early episodes you don't pick up on immediately.
Thank you, Russell T Davies.
For being a genius.
Screw you, Moffat.
Moffat, go away. Yeah. So yeah.
We just have so much hate for him.
I really do at this point. I mean, Twice Upon a Time needs to go die. So does Dr. Falls. So does Hellbent. Whatever.
Oh, I can talk about that one in a minute.
What?
The Dr. Falls. We can talk about that in a minute.
Really? Oh, because it links up. It does. Anyway, right. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay.
When we get to Sound of Drums with John Sim. Okay. So
actually, it's not even that one. It's Timelords.
No. It was Sound of Drums was the second episode.
I know, but I know which one I'm thinking of.
Cool.
Right.
Okay, so going back to Utopia really quickly. So what do you think of what's her face? Chantho. Because she was a good character, because she really does mirror Marth in a lot of ways, because she did say that she had feelings for Yana, which is funny, and a real shame. Because
Chan, so sad for Chando.
Joe. Yeah, exactly. But I like that little that's really tragic.
Quirk she had.
Yeah, it really
It's
does.
like had to be Chando.
It does set her species apart from other run-of-the-mill ones that show up in Doctor Who here and there, you know, and it really does work.
And actually, at the time of watching it, I actually turned to Zach and went, "Well, she's the last of her species. Why does she still go by that rule?"
Yeah, exactly. But maybe it's literally just in her mind. It's just instinct now.
Yeah, I was thinking back, and in a way, it's also related to the Doctors. Like, although they are the last of their species, they still respect it.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Unlike what the Master.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the conversation.
Because that's why the Doctor still doesn't interfere with time, even though he's the last of his. What he thinks he is.
It's respect for their.
So there is similarity.
Of them.
There's similarities to Chantho and the Doctor and Chantho and Martha as well. It's brilliant in that way. Yeah. And I do like that little exchange they have where it's just like, oh.
Now we just need to find out she's bisexual. Maybe we're done. The full trilogy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god. Anyway, so yeah, I think. So I definitely think that, you know, Martha, that little conversation that Chantho and Martha had a really good conversation talking about, I don't think he's ever noticed, and then Martha's like, tell me about it. So yeah, that's tragic. But yeah, it's so sad that Chantho was forced to shoot him, even though she couldn't at first, you know? Because obviously she shot him in the end and then he had to regenerate. Yeah. But that is really sad though for Chantho. I feel really bad for her, to be honest. A real tragic end.
But it was a purposeful death. It gave reason why.
Yeah.
Cause her dying was the only reason she knew Yana was gone.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we gave her the will to shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
Him,
so
to create us a beautiful Mr. Smith.
Yeah,
Sims. What is he, Smith?
Mr. Sim. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
I was just thinking Sarah Jane Smith. Mr. Smith. Nope. Wrong character.
So yeah, I definitely think that she did have a purpose in it. Definitely, she was the one to end the Master, which I think was good for her. At least for her to fulfill an arc. At least for her to be the one to end Yana. I think she was the only one who could at this point. Who deserved to, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, going out of characters, because there's not really any more memorable ones. What do you think of like that future kind thing going on? Because that was a bit underused, wasn't it?
You stole my words. I was hoping you'd go onto this subject so I can just say those exact words. Now I have nothing to say. I have no ammo.
Sorry.
I don't like you.
Yeah. So
they were underused. Like
no.
They could have extended that story a tiny bit more. It's like, oh yeah, they blew up.
Yeah,
stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
There was this one future kind who blew up the systems, and that's it. Lovely. And then they all went in. That's literally all they did. That's all they were there for. They were just there to fill out excitement in the first part of the episode, and then like to build the tension in the last part. That was literally it. And then there was that one. That one little, I don't know, obstacle in the middle when they blew up the system. I don't know. That they were really not needed. They really were not needed, to be honest. They were just there to raise the stakes a tiny bit. Unless they developed them and made them an integral part of the story, there was no need. There really wasn't any need for them. That really does frustrate me, to be honest, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Still confused at how one actually got in.
Yeah, that's very true. How the hell? Because they have to make them show their teeth or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's got hair. She has hair.
I mean, she showed them quite a lot of times.
Yeah, she did.
So how did no one never notice?
She's like...
Literally, every time we saw it, it's like, hey.
Yeah, exactly. You see the teeth, and it's just like, ugh.
Like,
how? Is someone blind? Is someone...
Blind.
Is someone... Did someone fail their job? Did someone get fired? I hope so, because that's terrible. That's terrible. But yeah, so... the future kind was terrible, but I feel like it was obvious that the main part of the story was about the Master when it was wrapped up the episode, but I feel like they should have done more with the future kind, otherwise there was no point for them.
No, the whole point was to distract us before we realised.
That's true, actually.
But it's hurt still.
Yeah, why create a new monster species just
to
for a distraction?
Yes.
Just for a distraction. What's the point of them? That's like throwing the Cybermen in. That's literally what Doomsday did. That's what the Doomsday episode was. They threw the Cybermen in as a distraction, the ghosts as a distraction.
Yeah.
And then the Dalek shot. That's literally what Doomsday did. Oh my god. That is so stupid. Have they not learned from their mistakes?
Okay, Russell, that is the only criticism we have.
Exactly, because they did that before, obviously, of the Cybermen. Did they not learn from them? Ridiculous. Madness.
Okay, so there actually is a trait. Each showrunner does have a flaw.
Yeah, exactly.
Stephen Moffat. Let someone die! Not the Doctor. He's the only one who's not meant to die.
Exactly. Oh, God. Yeah,
and
stupid.
Russell with just creating characters or creating a species just to distract us.
Yeah, using his creativity as a distraction. That's a waste, in my opinion.
You could have expanded so much more.
I'm actually fascinated in how the future kind actually works. I don't understand, like, their culture, like, how, like, what their motives are, apart from just wanting to hunt people, I guess. They're so two-dimensional as monsters. It's not worth it.
They're just cannibals.
They're literally... I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. That is not a creative way to just have them in there just as a distraction. That doesn't sit right with me. Obviously, there were a lot of little stakes in there. I feel like they had to add the future kind in there because a lot of it was them sitting in the laboratory just talking. So I feel like they had to compensate, going, let's shove that monster in just because. Because apart from that, they only had the master at the end, and then they had that radiation chamber, and that was pretty much it. So they go, let's shove in this one species.
Well, you could have literally thrown in any creature.
Yeah.
Not one you had to randomly create. Like, name a creature which worked perfectly for this story.
I honestly don't know. Maybe, I don't know, any species that maybe could have lasted a very long time. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. I honestly no idea. But what I was going to say is this whole trilogy, I just realised, because the future kind of technically a future version of the human race, so the Tok'ra thing. Maybe this whole 3-part is the Master secretly, or maybe just narratively trying to tell that the human race can be the monsters, because obviously the future kind are a future version of the human race. That's what was implied, and so with the Tok'ra thing, because those were the refugees that were going on to Utopia. I say in inverted commas. So yeah, what do you think? Because I think that's really clever how they do link this one episode to the other two.
Yeah, but those humans, I can't remember the name. I just called them the T's.
The Tok'ra thing.
Tok'ra things.
Yeah, Tok'ra Fane, but yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
the Tok'ra things.
Yeah, so yeah.
They were moulded by the Master.
Yeah.
So really, that point is still invalid because it's like, humans can be monsters. Yeah, if they're controlled by someone called the Master.
Yeah.
A.K.A. John Sims.
But you know what I mean, though. It's trying to show you that humans can be the monsters at the end of the day.
But this
sometimes.
is not a good attempt.
No.
I don't like this attempt.
No, it's a bad attempt, but I can see what they were trying to go
God,
for.
out of all the episodes I've reviewed, this is the least optimistic I've been. Really?
And
My
it's your favourite? Yeah.
Actually, no. Out of the 3, it's the last one.
Mm.
Which is the first one I watched, which is funny. After I watched the film episode that came after.
Oh dear. Yeah. Anything else to talk about the Utopia? I mean, obviously the whole idea of Utopia was like this safe haven or something. I don't even... obviously the signal was transmitted from the John Sim Master later on when he went to the future with, what's her name, Lucy, which was interesting. How they did
we could have
back
seen that.
Yeah, that would have been cool to at least have a flash forward or flashback or something. Just have something in there.
Yeah, like, no more talking.
Yeah,
because that was all the second episode was just talking.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like...
No, exactly. Not the best.
No, generally, before the review, we look at the episodes, and the second one, we skipped forward into only the main key parts.
Yeah.
And still nothing important was left out.
Because we had like...
It was
these
just
developments.
filler.
It was a lot of it was filler. But anyway, let's quickly conclude Utopia, and then we'll talk about this episode more specifically. So Utopia, as a singular standalone episode, does it hold up? I think it does hold up the wellest of the 3, because it does feel very separated from the other 2. In a sense, it does feel like it's part of the 3-parter, but it does also feel like it can stand alone on its own. on its own right. So I'm going to give it...
That's why I like it as well.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe 7.5, actually, because I was thinking 8. I'll make like a 7.5. Because obviously it has Derek Jacobi, and I love Derek Jacobi. But anyway, yeah. So what score are you giving it?
I'm putting it, about the same, 7.5.
Cool, awesome. So now let's quickly move on.
It's only during this review I've noticed the flaws.
You have to dissect. Yeah, no, you have to dissect it. You have to dissect it to see it properly.
One more thing about this is, I like there's like more the score stuff.
Yeah.
The drumming at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Was distorted when it was.
Yeah, the closer we got
Yana.
to the reveal of the watch and then him, the drumming got more clear to the.
At first it was just bang dun 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 dun. It was all random.
And then it turned into the heartbeat of the Time Lord. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, it turned into that more than anything, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Right, there's a lead to that. It's really good.
And his scream when he regenerated.
That's haunting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. That. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh no. Tim the other. Ignore me.
What the fuck was that sound? Okay.
I was trying to do a quote again, but.
Okay. Anyway, so moving on to Sound of Drums. Let's talk about characters again. Let's start with John Sim this time. Because he's the star of this one, isn't he? Okay.
Yeah, it was mainly around him, which
It was. So obviously, what do you think of John Sim? John Sim's performance. What do you think?
Me gusta. He's probably the best part of this
episode.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from when he's talking with the doctor.
Yeah. Of course.
It's like, but it's mainly all around him, which I like. It's like, not following the doctor all the time. It's like, let's see what the Master's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Which could have been a good time for you to go to the future.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true. Exactly. But honestly, this episode was episode was just the build up to Harold Saxon becoming the Master, obviously revealing to the world that he's the Master and all that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would have been the third episode if they were going to do the flashback more than anything. But
and how they linked everything, even more stuff like, that guy who made himself younger? Yeah, that's my technology.
Yeah, exactly. Another link to past episodes in that's
which
brilliant.
is what I like. Is like it's like quite a few links of the series ended with just the Master. It's like
exactly. I mean, they have to wrap it up somehow, and obviously with the finale is the best place to wrap it up.
They never did that with the crack. No, I still don't know what the purpose of that crack is.
Exactly, it's mad.
It's like, is it the exploding TARDIS? Is it Gallifrey? What is it?
Exactly. It's just a crack it's just a rip in time. That's literally
but
what it is.
But we saw a crack, didn't we? Well, I pointed it out, as if I went quack.
In the sky, a crack in the sky when the Toclafane came out of the sky to destroy 1/10 of the population, which is cool, interesting, but before its time. But anyway, so so going on to obviously. So what do you think of John Sim? Do you think it was a good first episode for his Master?
Oh, really funny.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It shows who he is. Like, there was one main Master all the way through Old Who, right? Classic Who.
No, there was 3 or 4.
There were
4 actors, but there were 3 incarnations.
But they've had loads of time to develop, haven't they?
Yeah,
they've been in multiple episodes.
Yeah,
he's had this one, and we've found out so much about him.
Exactly.
It's like, he's crazy, but he's like crazy because he's got that drumming in his head that's causing him damage.
Yeah,
and then he's just a psychopath.
Yeah.
He's like the scene when that woman was being chopped up. He was like, I can't. Yes, I can. I can't look. Yes, I can.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
so
like,
dark humour.
Dark humour. Yes,
that's what he's about. That's what he's about. Yeah, which is a big difference to him peeling off his fingernails in the movie.
What?
Thanks, America. Don't ask. Okay.
Was that the 8th Doctor?
Yeah.
I think I saw that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I
that's definitely something that the Master would do, wouldn't it? Yeah, lovely. Anyway.
He's been a zombie before, so it's not out of his
Excuse
range.
me, that's not a zombie.
He looked like a zombie.
Yeah, he looked like a zombie. He wasn't a zombie.
Okay, his regeneration messed up or something. I can't remember.
No, his body just decayed over time. That's literally
Zombie!
It. Not a zombie.
Zombies are decayed?
It doesn't mean he's a zombie just because his body decayed.
We'll be right back, everyone, after we have our fight.
Okay, so
Space zombies.
I definitely think that John Sim was really good. I feel like his dark humour was really played well, actually. What do you think of his wife, really quickly? Because I think
Lucy.
yeah, she was really in the shadows in the first episode, and in the second one, to be honest, she wasn't used at all. She was just behind him all the time. Didn't really do much, to be honest. She did more in this episode than in the finale. Actually, all she did in the finale was shoot him.
Spoilers! Oh, wait.
But yeah, so
Well, actually,
because in this one she did have that
With-
interview with that girl, didn't she?
yeah,
So.
with her, when I was younger watching it, I was like, how was he able to manage get someone to like him?
Yeah.
And then and then now I'm
Archangel
old.
Network.
Yeah, apart from that, but now I'm old and it's like, oh, she's a psychopath.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like knowing all this and just laughing with it, it's like, wow, whoa.
Yeah, exactly, because there's some stuff you don't really see the first time around. So yeah.
I know there's quite a lot of stuff in the third one as well.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I can see how he can find someone like him.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
she's batshit crazy.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, so right. So let's move on to performances of the Doctor. So what do you think of him in this? Because he does reminisce on Gallifrey a lot more, which is very good. How they do go back to the whole Gallifrey thing and them being best childhood friends and all that, I guess, and all the academy and all that.
How for
crap.
them it was quite touching. It's like,
Yeah.
how it's like, you don't have to do this. And it's just the way it's like, the Master's like, oh, you know we have to. You know this is always going to happen.
Exactly.
And the Doctor's just begging for his childhood friend back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a theme that's all the way through with the new series, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's brilliant in that sense, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so...
because this episode was more based around the Master. All the Doctor was doing is like filling in these extra bits, like
just filling in the gaps for people who aren't.
oh yeah,
aware
the
of
only
him.
reason he became Prime Minister is because satellites and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we can do the same. Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
There's minor stuff he's doing in this one, but
Yeah.
it's good to have a break from him.
Yeah, exactly, and focus more on the Master.
The actual enemy instead.
Yeah, exactly, and seeing that he did make contact with the Toppler thing, except they are genetically modified humans by him, which is dark. But yeah, I think that's really cool though, because they do give you an episode with the Master and how mad he is, especially with that meeting as an example. And he goes, "You're insane," and he's like, "Yes, I am. Thank you. Thanks for pointing it out."
Yeah, but I like the way it's just done in one episode.
Yeah.
It's like
They set up his character with his
it
madness.
didn't feel rushed.
No, it didn't actually. No, that's a very good point.
I didn't have any problems with this episode because, although it was filler, but it was filler in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. Because it did have a lot of important plot points in it, but at the end of the day, it was all set up for the finale, which is really good. How they do have a slower episode just to get used to this Master and for it to develop, for the Doctor to go, "Hey, we have these keys that can make us invisible, just unnoticed."
Unnoticed, not invisible.
Yeah. So, and then obviously it leading up to the Doctor getting old and Martha escaping and all that, and obviously the Toppler thing arriving, because it does have all that development, but that doesn't really go down until the final 10 minutes or whatever. So I feel like this episode was good at setting up the Master for the finale. I guess that was good in that way. But yeah, so going on. So yeah, like I say, David Tennant, his performance was very good, but he didn't have as much to go on this episode, did he? But yeah,
No.
So Martha, she very much took the forefront in this one, because she was trying to look after her family all the time, trying to call them, trying to
trying
make sure
to
that they're
warn them.
okay. Yeah, exactly.
But
didn't work out the best, but
That's really it. No,
no, exactly.
I didn't see much.
I mean, she did obviously get a lot more independent when she was a bit mad at the Doctor for saying, "Hey, you can't tell your family anything. So I'll do what I like." And then obviously her wanting to go find her family on the Valiant or whatever that ship's called. But so she
It was more of a realization that
she doesn't need the Doctor.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's
yeah.
I
Honestly,
mean,
that's
but-
yeah.
because again, it's not about the
No.
quotation marks good guys.
No, it's not, because obviously it does set up. It's good how it does set up. It really is good setup actually to her escaping and having to save the world herself. rather than her with the Doctor. You know,
Yep.
her being by the Doctor's side, which is good. Yeah, which I think that's brilliant. That, and she doesn't even have Captain Jack with her as well because he gets trapped. But yeah, quickly talking about Captain Jack. So in this one, he was good. He was alright.
He was just there.
He was just there in this one, wasn't he? He didn't really do much in this one, to be honest. No, he didn't.
No.
That's a shame. No, he did teleport them there in the start of the episode. But you know what I mean, though? He didn't really feel like he did much. He was just kind of there for talk time rather than actually being helpful.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
And just confirming the link that, Torchwood is.
Yeah,
what
actually,
they were on
no,
about.
never mind. They had to do that in one episode, so they did it in this one.
In case there's, like, there was one or two people where it's like.
What's Torchwood? Yeah, exactly. Like, they're like, what is
Sorry,
he,
I just
what's going
remembered.
on?
Who's the master?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I mean, obviously Captain Jack didn't really do much, but yeah. So moving on, what do you think of like Martha's family? Because I feel like they didn't really do much either this episode. I mean, honestly, they did. Actually, they did more than Martha herself. To be honest, she followed the Doctor, and so did Captain Jack. But they
Was that the first time we saw Martha's dad?
I don't think so. I feel like we might have. No, we saw him in episode 1 with Smith and Jones when they were arguing outside the pub, and when we saw Martha's stepmom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Evangelise, I think her name was the I don't know. But anyway, yeah,
well, I
we
liked
saw her.
the way
We saw him.
he tried. That although he knew what was at stake, he'd still rather go save Martha.
Yeah, exactly. Honourable, isn't it?
Yeah. Which I think, memorable.
Honourable.
Again, you took my words.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think that. Yeah, because obviously Marv's like, promise me, just tell me yes or no. Is anyone else there? And he says yes, obviously, which is
After a pause, saying
yeah.
Which there will always be a pause. Like, what's the risk? I get caught. I go.
Yeah, go get locked
The
up.
master does something. Or I get my daughter in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
He took a parent figure.
Yeah, he did.
Which is
It's very, very
awesome.
good, considering he walked out the door on Martha's mother. He tried to make amends for that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was brilliant in his own way. He did try to
a story which
make it right.
Story which we don't talk about much.
No.
It was like, oh.
Well, the companion's parents don't really talk about that much, but
Yeah,
he really
it's like-
did take, yeah.
And it's like not mentioned much, like him leaving and stuff. It's just he's left. That's all.
Yeah.
But it's like no, he actually wants to try make amends.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it was at the end of the day Martha's mum who sold out to Saxon.
Yeah.
Which is very.
To save her skin, which is what I didn't like.
No.
But she always like that. Is that? I can't
don't know.
recall
I mean,
a
she's a
character
very
like that.
She's a very layered character. I mean, at the end, she does definitely hate Saxon with a passion. Obviously, everyone does. But you know, I don't know, because she does have a lot of layers to her. And I think we do need to look at more episodes in series 3. Like in the Lazarus Experiment, she was in that one a lot, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
So we do need to look at her character a bit more before we judge, but like look at her more on a closer analysis level, just before we judge of why she did that, you know. But yeah, so I mean Martha's family did have a part to play in the story, because Martha was worried about them and all that, which is good, I guess. But apart from that, they were a bit, I don't know, they were good. They were useful in this one. They did have a purpose in the story. But yeah, as a story as a whole, obviously it was literally just the Doctor and Martha and Captain Jack on the run. And actually, Leo, Martha's brother, was on the run, which is when we didn't really get to hear about him in episode 3.
Yeah.
No.
That was just random.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yo, who, what?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, that was just not in episode 3 at all. No reference, which is a shame. But whatever. They couldn't really have everything in it. But yeah, I mean, episode 2 was just Martha and the Doctor and Captain Jack just on the run, while Harold Saxon just takes control. Really.
It's not Harold Saxon. It's the Master.
I know, but yeah. So I do think that it was good. It was mostly set up for episode 3, though, to be honest. But honestly, as a standalone episode, you kind of do need to watch the other 2 before you watch this one, to be honest. Otherwise, you don't really get it, which is a shame. Because it was a good one, but at the end of the day, it was set up and it was a follow-up at the same time, which is why this one suffers as a standalone episode.
Yeah, it was suffer as a standalone, but again, for me, having the third one being the first one I saw, without the second one, it would be confusing. The first one can work as a standalone and doesn't need that much, but it would still need like. All we need mainly to make it a 3-parter in this part is the Master.
Yeah.
Is
exactly.
reborn.
Yeah, exactly.
But the way stretching it out like this actually worked.
It does.
Compared to.
It does make it like a proper conflict that's going on. It does feel like that the characters have had to struggle for a year before they could sort it out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Which is good how they did that. I think that's why they stretched out the story a little bit to make it longer and more paced out, I guess. Which
unlike is Peter Capaldi's episode where it's like, oh yeah, I don't know, magic wand.
Yeah, exactly.
Do something.
I don't know. I'm in a castle when I keep reliving my 24 years and trapped in this castle, dying and reimbursing myself. Oh, I don't know. Hellbent's a good episode, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So obviously I'm going to give this standalone episode a 6 out of 10. As a standalone one, it's not that good.
Standalone.
As a standalone, I'm giving it a 6.
About 5.
Fair enough. Yeah. No. Yeah. Fair enough. That's fair game.
4. Yeah. This second review is not needed yet.
Yeah. So So now moving on to the episode Last of the Time Lords.
The first one I saw.
Yeah. So we won't talk about the characters too much because they're pretty much the same characters that were in this one. We'll just briefly talk about the differences. Obviously, the Doctor's really old and he does have to play this older, more weary character.
Looks like a ball sack.
So yeah, I definitely think that a lot of things were similar, but a lot of things were very different because obviously Martha was on the run. She definitely took the forefront in this episode.
Her character arc came through a long way in this one.
Yeah, definitely. I think it kind of accelerated from episode 2 to episode 3.
Yeah. Although we missed a year, by the way, it's like we've heard stories about you. It's like
exactly.
Ooh,
she's a local
as
legend.
She's actually local, global.
That's what I meant to say. But yeah, so I definitely think that they really did build her character really well in this one.
Without having even if we didn't see her much, we can see the character has grown.
Oh yeah.
In between the 2 weeks that we watched it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I definitely think that because they were talking about, oh, you have a way to kill the Master. Oh, you don't. Oh, turns out you travelled with a Time Lord. Oh, it turns out that you built a weapon. You know, all these legends that are going on. Oh, it turns out that you've travelled in time, and it's just like, oh wow, people know about her around the world. That's mad. But yeah, she's definitely come a long way in a year. So yeah, I mean, not really many differences with Captain Jack. He's just kind of been chained up for a year, which is a lovely lifestyle. But yeah, as for
I like the way he just complains.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can have the English fish and chips. Nope, I just have Swede.
Oh, terrible food, lovely. But yeah, so yeah, obviously the Doctor has to play an older character, but yeah, he doesn't really do much in this episode apart from at the end when he has to face off with the Master. But yeah,
again, I liked it. Wasn't based around him mainly.
No, exactly. But obviously he did have to take the forefront because it was, at the end of the day, him versus the Master, wouldn't it? At the end of the day, but obviously it was for the most part. It did work because obviously we did have Martha saving the Earth at the end of the day, wouldn't it? Getting rid of the Tocla thing. And obviously we forgot to talk about the TARDIS, didn't we? In part 2, because they cannibalised it. They made it a paradox machine, and obviously the Master modified it to make it that way, and obviously that's how the Tocla thing got through.
I like the way they were able to avoid plot holes.
Yeah,
like,
they actually found a way to fix plot holes. Unlike someone, Moffat.
Standing in puppets? Puddles! Why can I not speak today?
Yeah.
I was thinking of calling him a Muppet, so that's where I got puppet from. So a Muppet standing into a puddle.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely.
That's still my theory.
But yeah, I do think that, I mean, as for, obviously, Martha's family have definitely grown and they've become more bloodthirsty towards the Master and everything, because they definitely all want him dead at this point. And obviously we have all these talks about how Japan's been bombed and how Russia has now been turned into into a war plant and all that stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, a lot of stuff has happened in a year, and little talks of that from Martha and Milligan, and then obviously Martha's family up on the Valiant. But yeah,
yeah, but you can see like the Doctor was nowhere near them, which made them become the aggressor.
Yeah.
And again, the point you made earlier, where Davis was trying to make it, where the Master was trying to point out the humans can be monsters as well.
Yeah, exactly.
By making them bloodlust. Again, he's the catalyst.
Exactly.
So technically, he's
trying to show the Doctor that the humans aren't all they're cracked up to be, which I suppose is his goal, to be honest, at the end of the day. It might actually be what his goal is. I mean, apart from obviously trying to create a new Gallifrey or whatever the bloody hell that was.
That bit I'm actually alright with in a way.
What?
It shows that Master does have somewhere in him.
He does have a goal.
Good intentions.
He does have an end game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have
He's
an
not
end
just,
plan,
I cause mayhem.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a Dalek.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not that one-dimensional of a villain. He does have a lot of different layers to him. It's really good.
I want my home back.
Exactly, and yeah, really good.
And you can see he partially regrets running away.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
he wants to save his skin. That's obvious.
Yeah, because obviously he knows about.
I mean, you respect. I actually respect him for that. But now afterwards, the aftermath, he can see he's sad.
Yeah, definitely.
But then he goes on a bloodlust again, so we don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Dun.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, episode 3. Okay, so as a story, it really does wrap up the 3-parter quite well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, especially towards the end when Martha was reunited with everybody on the Valiant. It was like, oh, let's execute Martha, and then it's just like,
She pulled a Doctor. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. You think you've got me? Bye.
Exactly. Yeah, you know that countdown? We used it against you. So yeah, that was good.
The worst enemy of the worst of the enemies. Countdowns. Stop using them.
Yeah, exactly. Because
like,
just make the countdown shorter. You give them more.
Or not have a countdown. Yeah, exactly. Just, you're robots. You do what I say now.
Exactly. Rather than having a fucking countdown. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, obviously when Doctor's back to his young self,
young.
You know what I mean? He looks
smooth like, baby face.
Yeah, exactly.
With a beard.
With stubble, yeah.
Stubble, that's it.
But yeah, obviously he has that little, because obviously when they teleport away with the vortex manipulator, they're on this little island area, and that does look real. If you classic fans, you can see there might be some little, looks kind of similar to maybe that planet on Survival. You know, when the 7th Doctor, Anthony Ainley's Master, were fighting out. You guys might. I know what you mean. You guys might draw some similarities with me, because that definitely reminded me of it, especially like the lightning that was crashing and everything, and them having to like fight a bit. Obviously not to the extent that the 7th Doctor and Anthony Ainley fought, but you know what I mean though. That was really cool how they did try to shove in that little reference there, if that was an intentional reference, that is. But yeah, I mean, obviously they obviously teleport back, and time is reversed at the end of the day. Obviously, the people at the Valiant still remember it, which is why Martha's mum wants to kill him.
Yeah.
But she doesn't in the end, because she's better than him.
Yeah, that's also because the Doctor... Yeah, this is the whole point I was trying to make at the beginning, but I got distracted again.
What is it?
That the people that know the Doctor, literally, they only met him like a few times.
Yeah.
But for them being away from him for a year...
Yeah.
They've shown aggression, and as soon as the Doctor comes in, he's been able to give them order.
Yeah, exactly.
From chaos comes order.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And obviously that the Master does get shot in the end by his wife.
Yeah, first time seeing that, I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah, exactly. That shocked me a bit as well. Yeah, didn't expect her to do it, but you know.
Yeah. During this episode, did you notice she had a black eye? Her right eye was a bit red.
Damn, I didn't actually.
So maybe there was more.
Maybe there was more going on than we actually saw.
Yeah, I saw a red eye. It's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't ever actually notice that. I might have to go back and look. But yeah, That was definitely good though, because it does really give you the first glimpse that Time Lords can hold back regeneration if they so wish, which is honestly
emotional.
something. It's something that it's emotional, not something that Moffat can exploit. God damn it. Anyway, so I'm not talking about Twice Upon a Time. We're not talking about that.
No, but we are talking. But I'm now talking about the Doctor Falls.
No. Okay,
yes,
fine.
you know the point I'm making.
Okay, so yeah, obviously, the Doctor goes, "Oh, there's one thing you can't do. You can't kill yourself," and yet he kills himself. Well, he kills Missy, but that's brilliant.
Yeah,
though,
but they laughed. Said it.
I know that they're not gonna die. It's the Master, but I love that they still draw that reference in Doctor Falls, how they do kill each other essentially, even if they are going to regenerate or just come back in a way. Yeah. I still love that they do it in the end. There's one reason why the Master would kill himself, is to stop him from siding with the Doctor. That is what I honestly really like that. That's one thing that came out that was good with the Doctor Falls. But yeah, that was really dying. Never siding with the Doctor. But yeah,
and never dying.
Yeah. So yeah, apart from that honestly is it. I mean, there is that whole thing about the face of Bo at the end, which is kind of funny. We see the face of Bo earlier in the series and everything, and obviously, I don't know.
Yeah, and as soon as he announces, like, wait, is that a joke?
Wait, is this?
It actually took me years to actually.
Like, Russell, what does this mean? It's mad.
Well, actually, back then it was like, guy who makes Doctor Who. Is this true?
Is this true? Yeah.
And then generally, it took me a while to actually accept it. It's like, is this just a fake? Is it a lie?
Is it a troll? Yeah. Yeah, it's mad, but yeah. Apart from that, obviously we see that Martha, she's definitely changed because she decides to leave the TARDIS because she doesn't want to be in the Doctor's shadow anymore. She wants to lead her life.
Instead of being kicked out, dying.
Not dying. Dying but not dying.
Getting stuck in a parallel universe.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, she
it's
decides
actually
to
more
leave.
of a choice.
It is, and that's good. I think that really does cement her character. It really does make her... And honestly, that's really good, because obviously you see her in Series 4, in the Sontaran episode, as like a really well-established, like, strong, independent...
Again, he made another link. He said, I will ring this number.
Yeah, exactly.
You kept your side of the bargain.
Exactly, good.
Thank you, Russell.
Yeah, it's good. They don't just shove that in there never to use it. They actually do use that plot device or whatever. I don't know. But it's good, though. It's very, very good.
And one thing I'm waiting for.
What?
The Doctor's daughter.
Yep, that probably won't ever happen.
Yeah, but come on. At least give one hint.
I know it should, but it probably won't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that episode, honestly, that final episode, I mean, the story as a whole is honestly really good. Episode 1 definitely stands on its own 2 feet very, very well. Episode 2 is definitely very reliant on the story that is in episode 3 and 2.
But is needed.
Yeah, it's definitely needed.
So we actually accept it.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important. And then episode 3 is very good, honestly. Probably the best episode, even though I do love episode 1 with Yana.
No, the third one is the best.
I still do love Yana and Utopia, but yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's a brilliant 3-parter though. Not my favourite, but I know that it's absolutely fantastic. It's definitely up there with one of the greats. So yeah, with that said, I'm probably going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. Personally, I'm going to give it... And I know you're going to give it 10 because it's your favourite.
10.
It's a perfect 10, is it? Perfect
10 out of 10.
Awesome. Obviously, I'm giving it a 9 because of the slower second episode, and obviously episode 1 having a couple problems.
Or is this the actual overall?
Yeah, this is the overall.
So I need to stop falling asleep when drinking.
But yeah, so
overall would give it 9 because I noticed all those flaws.
Yeah.
But the last one, 10.
Yeah, exactly. The third episode is definitely a 10. But I mean, as a 3-parter, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it's really good, but it does have a couple little problems in there. But yeah, honestly, John Simp's brilliant. I'm glad that they did bring him back in End of Time, and then obviously again in Doctor Falls, which he was useless in, but at least they did have him. At least they didn't forget about him, which is good. But yeah, honestly, that really concludes this review, I guess. We're done.
I am sad.
And that's the end of R&D week as well.
I can't talk about John Sims anymore.
Oh, no, we can still
But
review.
his faces and
We can
his
still,
funny faces and all that.
we can still review End of Time.
Deal.
We can still not
Deal.
anytime soon. I'm not doing anytime soon.
Deal.
Not anytime soon though. You have to wait, mate.
Deal.
So yeah, there you go. That will conclude R&D week. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoyed this review as well. And yeah, goodbye. So there was the review of Utopia, Sound of Drums, and Last of the Time Lords. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed R&D week as well. And that really concludes it. So I guess we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
See you next time, whenever. Bye bye.